Welcome to the best show about relationships. Become a free member on my website to get my free 1 hour video, free relationship advice, and so much more. Subscribe and share this video with everyone you know. Let us go ahead and begin, shall we? All right. Time to dive deep into our first comment of the show. I'm sorry, but being single in your 50s and 60s looks absolutely miserable. I do not want to be out there in the streets complaining about the dating field or actively dating at that age. Yeah, sure, absolutely. But unfortunately, this is precisely what awaits all of these weaklings who dare call themselves men and women these days. All the silent weaklings that they're very loud complaining about the opposite gender. The weak guys out there who say, all the women are this and that. Oh, you guys really fuss up a storm. You guys really talk up a storm, a freaking hurricane when it comes to anything negative about relationships. And you provide zero positive advice. All you do is encourage all the rest of the guys to simply give up, to live home alone. Just live all alone at home, crawl yourself into your man caves, and rot away and die pretending to be happy when you know you're not. And then the toxic females out there, they do the same thing. They come online and they start whining and complaining. An entire tsunami of negativity and man-hating. And then they trigger everybody under the sun. And then they go home to their cats and their televisions and cry themselves to sleep when they see those romance movies in secret. This is what we have. So guess what? Today I'm a fortune teller. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen with such people. And I feel sorry for you if the shoe fits. You might want to consider changing those sneakers. You're going to end up being single in your 50s and 60s, or later or earlier, it doesn't matter, and miserable and lying to yourself every single day saying, I'm happy. I don't need a partner. I'm happy. I don't need anybody. And you're going to learn the hard way. The only thing you're going to have deep down in your heart, if you still have one, is regret. That's what awaits you. And think about it. This person here is complaining about seeing people in their 50s and 60s, trying to find somebody. It's too little too late at that point. You could find somebody, but how is that mindset of yours? Because if it's still in hatred mode or low patience mode, guess what? You're going to fail all over again. And history will just inevitably repeat itself. And America has by far the absolute worst problem I've ever seen in all the countries I've been to in my life. The absolute worst attitude problem I've ever seen. It used to be a great nation. I would say in the 80s, maybe 90s. That's when stuff started slowly falling apart. A lot of cheating going on when people were doing good economically. And then in the 2000s, it's like now we're really starting to snowball. The divorce rates were going through the roof. Nowadays, forget it. I'm not even going to talk about it. It's that bad. So things, I've seen like the last of the great men and women just fall off the radar. Now all we have are a bunch of multi-generational complaining, whining losers out there, especially in the United States. I have to single out this country. The United States of America is quickly becoming the United States of losers. And if you're offended by that, I really don't care. I'm a U.S. citizen myself. I have the right to say such things. Why? Because that's exactly what I'm observing, especially online. Just because it's online doesn't mean the attitudes don't match people offline. I've seen some ugly interactions offline as well. And the same topic of relationships and love. I've heard people say that love doesn't exist, that lifelong partners are a waste of time, blah, 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 blah. It's all loser talk. It's like somebody lost in life, and all they're going to do, because it's the easiest, laziest thing to do, is whine and complain for the rest. I'm talking years, decades, their entire lives with attitude problems, very severe attitude problems. A lot of them end up injuring themselves, hurting themselves physically, or they have severe mental problems and they never go seek help for it. I mean, it doesn't end there with, oh, okay, I want to be a loser. No, no, no. It's just going to get worse. Because you're fighting the very thing that you should be doing, which is getting back out there and finding the right partner for you. But if you're going to whine and complain after a divorce, breakups, multiple divorces, that's all on you. That's your report. That's your streak of failures. The only way you truly fail, however, is if you quit. If you say, you know what, I'm just going to give up. That's the wrong answer. You have to get your butt back out there. But before you try to make a choice on who you potentially want to become lifelong partners with, potentially, okay? You better learn from people who are already successful with their relationships. Because obviously what you're doing is not working. Oh, but it was my partner. It doesn't matter. You should have seen the red flags before you said, yes, I want to be your partner. It's not really rocket science when it comes to that. You know, you have to accept responsibility for your own choices, your own actions. When a relationship fails, you can blame your partner, and that may be the case for the most part, but it's also your fault for getting involved with such a person. Oh, I didn't know he or she was going to be okay. Surprise. But the signs were still there. They were probably just more subtle than what you thought. Or you just probably gave up on your partner and it led to something worse. It just happened to be that they exploded first and not you. And sometimes, many times, actually, couples both explode together and they ruin the whole relationship. It just goes downhill. All the negative signs were there. So all I see in the US as of late is whining and complaining. No possible solutions. I hear some people give some advice here and there, but it's not even the greatest advice. Because even such people who are trying to do good still have the worst advice. It's vague, it's cliche, we've heard it already. It's not even talking about case by case. I've already done that plenty of times, case by case. Lots of examples. It's infinite examples, pretty much. Every case is different, but they all share similarities. When your attitude is the problem, don't expect miracles to happen. The miracle's not going to come. You'll be waiting until you're a skeleton pointing fingers at somebody. So yeah, I absolutely agree. It does look ridiculous, and it is a sad misery where 50-year-olds... Now, here's the only exception. If you're a 50-something-year-old, 60-something-year-old, and your long-term relationship failed, okay, as long as you get back out there, right, it's not too late. If you have the right attitude, if you have enough strength, you know, that willpower, you can do it. But don't be in a rush. The same things apply to when you chose your partner in the first time when you were younger. The same things apply. The last thing you want to do is repeat the same mistake all over again because you think time's running out for you. No, it depends. How well are you taking care of yourself, physically, mentally, and emotionally? What's your health looking like overall? But if you choose to just live alone and hang up the towel and say, nah, yeah, I'm done, well, it's going to be an extremely lonely rest of your life. Absolute misery. So this guy here, he's complaining about people in their 50s and 60s being single. All right. Well, I don't know what his attitude is like. But if he ends up in that category, well, that's going to be mighty ironic, right? Let's go ahead and move on to the next comment, shall we? Unpopular opinion. A woman naturally submits to a man who leads her well. Women hate that word submit, and I understand why. Why? You don't even say why you understand. Any woman who hates that word has mental problems. And any man, I mean, men don't have a problem with that. Submit. What's wrong with that's what love is. You submit yourself to each other. Because if you're holding back with one foot out the door and one foot in the house of love, you're just making the relationship worse than what it could be. You're destroying the opportunity because you have trust issues and you have mental problems. You're not ready to fully commit. You can't partially submit yourself or not submit yourself at all if you're planning on committing yourself with that person. It's not going to work. When you put a key through the lock of a door, do you partially put that key in and be like, oh, well, it should open because, I'm afraid that this key might break when I put it all the way in? No, you shove the key all the way into the keyhole and you turn it to the appropriate side and it unlocks the door. A relationship is the same way. You can't be like, well, I'll do this, but I don't think I want to do this, that, and but I won't do that, right? No, you have to do it all. You have to know who you're getting into bed with, pretty much literally and figuratively. All the details. You have to iron it all out. It requires submitting yourself completely. Now, don't do that right off the bat, but it should grow to that point. So if a woman, after, let's say, she's with a person for years and she still hates the word submit, well, then that's just a dead-end relationship. It was never destined to go anywhere good. That woman has problems. She's a basket case. Women who are truly in love with their men, they say, oh, he's my man. I'm all his. That's what they say. Women will say, I'm all his. And they'll tell you, men out there, I'm all yours. What do you want to do? Right? What do you want me to do for you? How can I be of service? It's servitude. It's not slavery. It's my pleasure. Right? Your wish is my command. A genie in a bottle. That's true love. So if you have a problem with the basic word submitting, you're a poor candidate for anybody to take seriously. And I really hope nobody goes out with a woman who has a problem with the word submit. All right. Now, the first part he says here, a woman naturally submits to a man. Absolutely. But it's not because he leads her well. It's because they have great chemistry. They have a strong bond together. They develop, they grow together. But naturally, yes, both of you guys are supposed to submit to each other. All right, last comment of the show. Just because I DM you doesn't mean I'm interested in you romantically. Sheesh, get a life. I do choose to engage with some men in my DMs purely for the fact that they are intelligent and interesting, okay? I should not have to specify lack of romantic intent. I'm single, yes. Looking for love, yes. I'm not a good flirt, but I am direct. If I fancy you, you will know, okay? I also do comment on hot men posts. Doesn't mean I want you. All right. I do need an emotional connection. You're all over the place. What are you even talking about? Trust me, sex is really easy. Grow up. What are you even talking about? My goodness gracious. What? You're all over the place. It's like an octopus with all the tentacles stretched out in all directions. What are you trying to get at here? So you're fooling around with DMs and you're asking for people to grow up. You're the only one here that needs to grow up. You're commenting on hot men posts and you say, I'm not a good flirt, but I am direct. Okay, what does that mean? If I fancy you, you will know. All right, so that's when you're going to be flirtatious? Because that's pretty much what fancying somebody means. Doesn't mean I want you. It sounds like it. I mean, you're commenting on hot men posts, then don't comment on hot men posts. And you speak of intelligence and interesting, people. Like that doesn't sound mighty intelligent. Your interest is wasting time online, with hot men posts and saying, yeah, but trust me, sex is really easy. I do need an emotional connection. That's not an emotional connection. Has nothing to do with sex or how easy it is. What are you even talking about? And trust me, what this is one of the most stupidest comments I've ever ran into in this entire series. I have to say, this is a huge alarm, like for stupidity all across the board. I'm single, yes. Looking for love, yes. No, you're just goofing around online. And that's why you're going to probably remain single forever, like those 50 and 60-year-olds we were talking about earlier. You know? And it sounds like you have no idea what romance is even about, romantic intent. Absolutely no clue, but that's all, that's all she wrote. Case closed. What a circus. All right, so if you made it this far, it's time to become a free member on my website. You'll get free relationship advice and so much more. Also, drop a comment with the topic you'd like for me to go over in a future show. Much love, everybody.